Hi, my name is Rebecca Bowman, and I did my unit on the life cycle of animals and plants. My target audience were two of my students. I'm a special education teacher, and they are two students that are on an alternate curriculum. They are third grade students, and one of my students is a girl who is identified as with an intellectual disability, and the other is a boy who is on the autism spectrum. My students spend the majority of their day outside of their classroom working on alternate curriculum. So science and social studies is a challenge for them because they aren't on grade level in understanding the materials. So basically what I do is I create, looking at the Common Core standards and then essential elements, a unit for them. And I do have to differentiate between the two students because of the level that they are functioning at. So the level that the unit that I did was on life cycles of plants and animals, comparing, animals to plants, and then learning about the life cycles. We focused on a butterfly, a frog, and a plant. Throughout the unit, I use a lot of videos, hands-on. We actually got caterpillars, and they were able to watch the life cycle of a caterpillar changing into a butterfly, so giving that real-world application, as well as we planted beans, and then they saw the life cycle of a beans plant going from a seed to the seedlings growing roots, and then eventually turning into a plant. So this was really cool for them to watch. The first question that we need to answer is, do the tasks yield appropriate evidence of identifying understanding? And I definitely feel like my tasks do give evidence of understanding. At the beginning, we created a KWL chart for my students. So they talked about what they had wanted to learn, what they knew about the life cycle, and then also what they wanted to know, the questions that they might have about the life cycle. And at the end, we reviewed, throughout the process, we talked about the different questions, and they definitely could answer the questions that they had. One being, what is a life cycle? Or what is the life cycle of a caterpillar? They knew that caterpillars became butterflies, but they didn't know exactly how it happened, and they were able to see the cocoon and then see the butterfly emerge. And it was really cool because one of the days the butterfly did emerge while they were at school, so I had them watch, and you could see it coming out of the cocoon, and the expressions on their face were priceless. As I said, I do videos using BrainPop. I use Pebble Go, so they can have an online reader, Discovery Education. So there's a lot of things that I use to help build in that experience doing crafts and activities as well with them. The second question is, and I think I sort of answered this, do tasks involve a complex real-world authentic application of the evidence, knowledge, and skills and understanding? Again, I definitely feel that the real-world application is just seeing the life cycle. There's nothing more real-world than that. They could see the process happening. They could understand it. You could see it in a book. You could see it on a video. But to actually watch the plant go through their life cycle, the butterfly go through their life cycle, it was just so cool and amazing to say, we're writing and we're doing crafts, we're making mobiles on the life cycle, and then to actually be able to say, okay, well, what stage are they in? And then they look at their mobile, they look at their craft, and then they can be like, oh yeah, they're in the chrysalis stage, or, oh my God, they're transferring into a butterfly, and to know, oh, this is what stage is. I also had them fill out documentation each week, and they did a little presentation to their class using a PowerPoint with pictures, and we did video of the different that we added in. So it's just a really cool experience for them. probably one of the best units that I feel that I've created this year for them. The next question is, are a variety of appropriate assessment formats used to provide evidence of learning? With these students, it's hard to do paper pencil, so most of mine is just asking questions, inquiry. When we're doing worksheets, it's checking for understanding. Do you understand what the life cycle is? Do you can you put the life cycle in order? And so that's a lot of what my assessments are, versus just paper pencil and the real world, more real world application. But a lot of verbal, especially for my student with an intellectual disability. My student that is on the autism spectrum is more of a reader, and so I can do, question answer with him, paper pencil. Lastly, are students given opportunities to self-reflect, to self-assess and reflect upon their learning and performance? The only thing that I can say about this is that I feel like the KWL chart was a self-assessment, although they really didn't realize they were self-assessing. I think it's hard for them to understand, but knowing, like, okay, here is your question, and then did we answer your question, and are there questions left that we didn't answer? So I definitely feel that they did some self-reflecting. I think more so who does the self-reflecting is myself. Constantly, am I doing the right thing? Is it on their level? Are they understanding? So more so than their self-reflecting is myself doing the self-reflecting to see if it's beneficial and they are getting out of what they need. So if there's anything that I would do different on this unit, I really don't think so. I really feel like doing the butterfly and the plant gave my students just that hands-on real world connection to what a life cycle is, because they could actually see it. We could talk about it. It was documented, and they could look back at pictures. Okay, remember what part, when was the bee in here, or what happened this day to the caterpillar. So I think that was the best thing that I really did. Thank you very much.